So today I'm in west central Colorado. I know, I get around, right? But I've come here to collect a special material. It's called greasewood, and that's actually the bush you see behind me. Now, greasewood doesn't really have much use for people nowadays, but back in prehistory it was very important for ancient people. They used it for digging sticks, for foreshafts for their spears, and also for foreshafts in their arrows. And it's very dense, tough wood, and it has a lot of straight shoots in it. So let's collect some of this stuff for some foreshaft material. Greasewood is common in flat, low-lying areas with alkaline soil in the high deserts of the western U.S. Its tough hardwood is still superb for arrow shafts, though it's very thorny with needle-sharp spines. Protective gear is required when collecting greasewood. Now, the two things I recommend when you're collecting greasewood, first off, is you need heavy, good leather gloves, and secondly, a long sleeve shirt, because you're going to be reaching down into the bushes and breaking those branches off. Unless that is you just like to see yourself bleed, but I don't. So I'm going to wear the protective stuff and we're going to collect some. After locating straight shoots, I run my hand up and down them to break off the thorns and remove any small branches. Though it's very hard, greasewood is also very brittle, making the offending thorns easy to remove. Once the thorns are gone, only a slight sideways bend is required to snap the twig off the main bush. Keep in mind to collect the straightest material you can. Greasewood can be heat straightened, but it won't tolerate much sideways bending and will suddenly snap if bent too far. Man, look at that bush behind me. It's like a foreshaft factory. There's all kinds of shoots growing off of that. There gotta be hundreds of them. It didn't take too long to collect several dozen greasewood shoots that I took home to Georgia. 2 months later, I began processing the greasewood into foreshafts. Incredibly, the greasewood was still slightly damp. Because it grows in such arid locations, the thin bark is almost waterproof, and I had to give the debarked greasewood a few more weeks to dry completely. To remove any lumps or remaining branches, I rubbed the greasewood on a flat concrete block. Then I sanded it smooth with progressively finer grits of sandpaper. I cut the foreshaft to length by sawing a groove all the way around it with a stone flake, then snapping it cleanly. This foreshaft will be shouldered, so I saw another groove around the foreshaft and carve away the excess to reduce its diameter. This portion will fit into the reed. The shoulder then butts up against the reed to create a seamless transition from foreshaft to main shaft. And finally, it's checked for alignment. I then use the same flint flake to saw a notch in the end of the foreshaft to accept the stone point. This black obsidian flake will make a perfect arrowhead. The point is fitted into the foreshaft notch and is glued in place with pine sap glue. Be careful to ensure that it lines up perfectly with the arrow. chewed sinew is then crisscrossed through the notches, and the foreshaft below the point is wrapped for about an inch to reinforce it when impacting the target. Thin hide glue is then applied to the sinew to seal the bindings. So after all that work, the Greasewood Foreshaft is finally finished. And I just have to let this glue and sinew dry on the point, and then this thing will be ready to fletch. I'll tell you, in addition to being excellent foreshaft material because it's so hard and dense, this greasewood, once you sand it down smooth and you get a close look at the grain, it's really, really pretty. It's got these little lines and swirls and has a lot of character to it. It's absolutely beautiful. I'll tell you, I normally use dogwood, but I think this is my new favorite foreshaft material. But I'll go ahead and fletch this arrow later. Once everything is put together, this thing will be going in my hunting quiver this fall. But for now, this video's done. So thanks you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed.